Let's hope that Gandalf is in good temper. Let's begin by giving him the book. Hello there, Gandalf. I have this book that I found while at the Yarn Fast.
What is this you bring to me?
It's a black book that seems to have been hidden in Yarn Fast in a home where Keel was raised. And some of this looks like it might be black speech or something like that. Some of these pages contain words written in the black speech, but there are also dwarf runes in several varieties, and many blank pages. I suspect that these gaps are not truly empty, but contain words written in the hidden fashion used by dwarves to keep secrets. Most interesting. This book clearly has its origin in Mordor, but the Mordor of 1,000 years ago is not the same as it is today. Truly, even in a month's time, Mordor has greatly changed. I will study this book with interest, but I see from your expression that more than one purpose has drawn you hither. Oh, yeah, that's true.
The relationship of the Gelruka and the Longbeards has long been tumultuous.
Yes, I will have to agree with the word tumultuous. Yes, I see. Yes, it has been tumultuous during their interaction, the changing of the peace to outright war, and then the uneasy truce. The passage of the years and the waning of memory finally caused friendship to once again emerge between them, and now this happens to be cast that the renewal into doubt. With the devastation that heralded the end of the First Age, much of Middle Earth was shaken asunder. In their lands far to the east, the strongholds of the Gelruka was destroyed, and they became a wandering people. Their neighbors turned them aside and wished them ill, but King Durin II of Khazad-dûm took pity upon them and bade his folk that the home for their displaced people in Mount Gundabad. They disappeared in the mountains and never arrived, but a single survivor emerged centuries later. He spoke of the vanished Zaruka and Tharfar Gothol, a citadel he claimed they delved into the mountains. He insisted, too, that its riches could match those of the mighty Khazad-dûm. Mad raving, surely! None of the many as seek over the years, Longbeards and Zaruka alike, have ever found it. I do not believe it ever existed. Yeah, Keel told me the same story. Yes, dwarves from Khazad-dûm did uncover the remains of an ancient delving in the Grey Mountains, and although they found a great deal of iron ore, they found no mithril, and could not be the Far Gothol. They called it Thikil Gundu, the Steel Keep, and soon their iron production threatened to rival that of the Iron Hills. Scholars whisper that this threat to their prosperity caused the dwarves of Yarn Fast to send word of the Steel Keep to Zaruka, who demanded it be theirs by right. If the dwarves of the Iron Hills did take part in this, none have proven it, but it seems likely to me. Ever since, the Zaruka have jealously guarded their claim to holdings in the Grey Mountains, and that resentment has colored their dealings with all other people. If Botu's Frostblood and others of the Zaruka believe their property is being kept from them, they will not hesitate to spill blood to regain it. I will not involve myself in this matter. Return to King Thorin and warn him not to trifle with the Zaruka. They will become a dangerous foe if they feel they are being treated unfairly, and the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain need more friends, not new enemies. Back to King Thorin. Hold on. All the gem cutter is here. What's he doing here? Your Majesty?
Althie Gemcutter has come from the edge of the Dale Lands with urgent news.
He says that Boltus Frostblood and his band of Zaruka forced their way into the Dale Lands against my wishes and have marched for the Grey Mountains. At first, my son Diren barred their way, but he refused to spill dwarf blood and allowed them to pass. It seems he followed them, intending to watch them and prevent the Zaruka from doing any harm to the people of Dale or the lands around the Lonely Mountain. He sent Althie back to bring me word of his movements. This is an outrage. These Zaruka have proven themselves to be impolite and no friend to me or my people. I am insulted and demand satisfaction. I do not say my son should have stood alone against dozens of these traitors, but I wish the Zaruka had been made to pay for the slight in some fashion. Had they waited for my warriors to arrive, they would not have dared to cross, or they would have paid a good sum in blood and in pain. They are brazen enough to disregard my commands, but too cowardly to engage in outright battle for it. To the Grey Mountains and tell my son to return. These Zaruka will pay for this outrage, and it will not be for Diren to exact the price. He belongs here with me, and will learn the responsibilities of kingship at my feet. Well then, that's going to be troublesome. Finally, there is another matter I must speak to you of. You remember the events involving Vithug Wintermine, the Weeping Warrior, and Nori. I'm beginning to wonder what we should do about that. Yes, it is true that Vithug Wintermine was defeated, but that does not mean that Thiku Gundu has been left unguarded. Karaskar has pursued Vithug into the Grey Mountains, and there are orcs of Gundabad lurking around the foothills. If the Zaruka hope to reclaim the Steel Keep, they will have to contend with the dangers of the Grey Mountains. I am inclined to let them. However, their passage into the arid Mithril has not gone unnoticed by my people. Even now they gather before my throne in anger and restlessness. Listen well to their grievances, Pineleaf, and then we will see if I cannot put their minds at ease. All right. Listen to a number of grievances and find out what we can do about that. Oh boy, they're gathering by the droves. Let's speak with them. Hello there, what's the problem? Yes? Yes? We are forbidden to return to Thikogundu, but the Zaruka are not? Well, yeah, that's what it sounds like so far. If it weren't for the Zaruka... Where is the keeper of the coffers? Has the king sent him on some secret errand? Well, he actually snuck out in secret, but that's beside the point. And what is your grievance? Vithug is defeated! Why do we sit idle in Erebor? Yeah, but he's still alive. And what's your grievance? Yes? Yes? The edict of the king under the mountain shall not stand. Well, that seems to be the summary of what everybody else has been saying. And what is your opinion on this matter? The king under the mountain dishonors his forefathers. This is getting nastier and nastier by the minute. Well, what do you say about this? Thikogundu was wrought by the Longbeards. The Zaruka know nothing of our craft. Well, it appears It appears that they're not happy. That's an understatement. It is as I expected, but not as I had hoped, Pineleaf. My edict was not firm enough to withstand the passage of the Zauruka, and my people will not heed it. Nori has proven that much to be true. I may hold the rest of them back for days, weeks, or maybe even years, but it will not last. There must be another way. Nori left me this missive behind when he made for Thikugundu with his expedition. I would ask you that you deliver it to Dory. I think now it is time that he learns what his brother has done. Alright. I would have thought that his brother already knew about it, but let us go deliver it. Dory, the king asked me to hand you this missive. It's the note I found from your brother when I was checking his rooms. What is this? Ah, this is some trick. It must be. Nori would not have done this. I'm afraid he has. I do not understand this, Pineleaf. What had compelled my brother to act so foolishly? He has lived a life of wealth in Erebor. He is the keeper of the coffers. Or he was. Bah! I should have confronted him. I saw dwarves speaking with him in hushed tones, but I thought nothing of it. Nori is a dwarf of some repute after all. If only I knew the names of those dwarves, but... Wait. I do recall one of them. This dwarf seemed to be of a line descended from both Longbeards and the Zauruka of the East. He was thin in the beard, but any dwarf would be proud to have such a mustache. Ah, yeah. Zauruka blood, all right. He is a miner, I think. Search for him in the new lows of Narathok, and perhaps he will better be able to explain why my brother has left for Thikugundu. Well, I shall find out what he knows. This looks like the dwarf I'm looking for. Hello there.
Stay a moment. Hear my words.
I do not appreciate your gaze. What business have you in the new loads? Well, I was looking for a dwarf that matches your description, that Dory believed to be in league with Nori's secret expedition. Ah, very well. I am Debel. I am not so deeply involved as you might believe, but yes, I know of these things. I suppose the truth would come out sooner or later, but I had hoped it would be after Nori returned to Erebor. I cannot give such information freely, but I can offer it for a trifle. If you were to clear out some of the deep claws that have burrowed into the new loads, I give you my word that I shall share all that of Nori and his expedition. What do you say? Well, I'm all for killing deep claws, so I'll go and do it. There's an exposed burrow here. Oh yeah! Deep claws! Not cave claws! Yeah, I forgot about those things. Yeah, these things are still tough. Well then. That's one of them down. I just now need to find a few more. They're probably all over the place. Infesting it and creating these holes. Making a mess. Usual stuff. Here's a burrow. Ah! Ouch! Hi there. Maybe you just want to go away and not disturb this place any longer? Away from the mines, perhaps? I guess not. Right, that is 2 down. I'm sure there are more of these somewhere. I've taken care of those deep claws.
By my grandsire's beard.
Did I not say I was a dwarf of my word? I knew very little of the plans of the Keeper of the Coffers, but I knew enough. He made for the steel keep of old, Thikil Gundul, as it was once named in the tongue of the dwarves. I could not follow him as he wished, but I offered to keep his home in order until his return. I have borne Nori's secret faithfully, but I do not wish to lose the favor of the king under the mountain. Here, take this key. Perhaps Nori left behind some clue for his brother to find. Very well. I shall do that and speak with Dory. It appears that this dwarf was keeping track of Nori's possessions in the house. He gave me this key to Nori's home. Yes, very good. A key. My brother entrusted his key with this devil before me. We shall have much to discuss when I next see him. My brother was not one to leave things unorganized. He is the keeper of the coffers after all. However, if Nori has traveled to Thikil I must know his course through the arid Mithrin. They are unfriendly lands, now home only to orcs and dragons. It is to Tumuldoom we must go. Those are the dwelling halls of Erebor, and it is there Nori makes his home. I will await you outside his home. After all, you have the key. Well, there's a point to that. Back to the dwelling halls. Well, Dory, what do you think? At least Devil did not allow my brother's home to fall into disrepair. I think my brother left more hastily than he expected to, Pineleaf. Look, there are papers piled upon the table, and I see other curiosities left about that I would like to examine. Take a look at those papers, and see if my brother has left any hint as to the course or the names of other dwarves that might be in question. Once you have done so, let's meet back here. All right. Let's look at these papers first. After Vitu defeated the gates of Erebor, Nori enlisted some of his kinfolks to follow him into Thikil Very well. What else do we find? What's this? Thikil had once possessed great wealth, Nori thought, and now it sat unguarded and unclaimed. Well, maybe, maybe not. We'll have to find out. What's in here? After countless hours of study, Nori learned that the hoarding vault laid beneath the eyes of the Seven. Okay. A map of Ered Luin? Well, certainly not over there. Anything down here? No. What about this way? Oh, more papers? Thikil was lost, Nori thought, but it was not the way of dragons to abandon their hordes. Well, there is that. Then, what what else can we find around here? Any more papers? Something else? Oh, there we go. What's here? After clearing the dust away, Nori drew forth armor of old. The time had come. The time had come to go? Well, I found some notes here. I don't know how much help they'll be. My brother believes that because the great cold drake was defeated, that our old hordes were unguarded? By dragons, perhaps, but the orcs will not have abandoned them. As the king under the mountain said, Fecal Gundul is best forgotten. The Longbeards have found only misfortune and death in the Steel Keep. If I do not aid my brother, this expedition will be his doom. We are forbidden from traveling to Fecal Gundul, but perhaps King Thorn will be merciful upon my family and allow me to pursue him into arid Mithrin. It is the only course. Come! We must go at once. Yes, we will. We're here. King Thorn the Third Stonehelm, King under the mountain. I beg leave to travel into arid Mithrin. You have forbidden Durin's folk to return to the Steel Keep, Fecal Gundul, but that is not my purpose. I go in search of my brother Nori. I am a loyal dwarf of Erebor. I have fought and bled in its defense from the Easterlings, from Bolg. All I ask is the chance to save Nori from his folly. Will you give me leave, King under the mountain? What will the king say? I hear your words, Nori of the company. Your deeds and those of your kin are not forgotten to all who dwell in Erebor, but Nori has acted in defiance of my edict. Whether his expedition is successful or not, there will be consequences for him. I know well that your brother Ori was among those lost in Balin's expedition, and I know as well that you do not, that this bears a resemblance to our efforts to reclaim Khazad-dûm. Both Balin's expedition and the Iron Garrison have failed, and if future losses may still be prevented, they must be. And so, Nori, I grant you leave to follow your brother and put an end to his expedition. You will travel on my behalf, but you will go in secret as your brother did. You may form a company of your own choosing, but do not spread the word to any untrustworthy ear. In addition, I ask that you find the remains of Vithu Wintermine. He fled from battle gravely wounded and passed into arid Mithrin, but I desire proof of his death. Heed my words. Deliver Nori from his folly, and retrieve for me a bone of Vithu Wintermine. Only then will we speak of forgiveness. What do you say? You have my truest gratitude, King under the mountain. I will do as you command. What do you say, Pineleaf? Let us begin our preparations. Let us begin our preparations. Will we be able to get to the Grey Mountains? What will we find there? Will we be prepared? We'll find that out in the next episode of Pineleaf in the North Kingdoms.